Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now the middle of September, and before we get to the Star Wars Andor show, which by the way debuts on September 21st, we also have Tales of the Jedi that's going to release on October 26th, and that is all before, of course, we get back to live action material in 2023 with The Mandalorian Season 3, the Ahsoka series, and a whole lot more. By the way, The Bad Batch Season 2 has been delayed until January of next year, so we still got a couple of months to go until we are able to see that show. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, there's one thing that Jon Favreau has openly stated several times before in the past, that this series, The Mandalorian, is all about Grogu. There is something very dark and secretive about the character of Grogu that we have yet to have any knowledge about, that he is working on. Now, Favreau unveiled this a couple of weeks ago, that there's a lot of things going on with the character of Grogu, and a lot of revelations that will come to light that's going to have saga-wide implications, of course, about the Skywalker saga itself. Now, that brings us to the next thing of Jon Favreau and his endgame of the Star Wars franchise, and of course with The Mandalorian as a whole, and exactly what he recently had to say about all of this. So, what's really all the more intriguing about this is what Favreau had to say about, and what he had to tease, of his overall goals with Dave Filoni and new creators coming on board to really bring an end to the Mandalorian series, and where it's all gonna go from there with other Star Wars shows. So let's dive right into this, but before I get to that, one thing I really have to say about this also is that with Jon Favreau now creating both Mando Season 3 and 4 to enhance the story of Grogu, Luke, and Din Djarin plus others, he has also been very talkative recently with his future goals for the Mandalorian universe. However, Favreau recently engaged in an interview where he teased his endgame with the Star Wars franchise and what he is currently planning and setting goals for to make the fans satisfied. Now, he went on to state the following. Well, yeah, I mean, when you look at what we have accomplished with The Mandalorian, we have so much potential. I'm already planning out on how I want to end the series and all, and though I am working on Season 4, I would really love to end it all around Season 6, to really conclude the story before I move on to something else major that will give birth to other spin-offs that the fans can really enjoy. For me, the sight I have on is to use this series to really explore many opportunities to bring back Star Wars Legends and its characters for those hardcore dedicated fans, and how we can really just create this large library of live-action stuff that fans can watch endlessly in the future. He goes on to say, I really am focusing on going past a Season 4 and ending it all on Season 6, that's my goal, and how this series will be eventually a passing of the torch to some of the characters that we introduced in the series to create other shows. Now, let me just pause here quickly for a second before I get to the next thing. Some of you may be saying, Season 6, that sounds a little excessive. Some of you guys also might be saying that sounds very exciting. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of mixed reactions based on what Jon is saying here about these extensive plans with The Mandalorian and his endgame with the franchise, and how eventually he wants it to be a passing of the torch to other characters to handle a different era. The thing about this is, Jon is already working on Mando 4. He's already writing it. They're in the very early stages of the script right now. Storyboards all complete and finalized to be used in the script, by the way. And basically, this would ensure us that we will be getting Mandalorian content until 2026 during the holiday season. Now, unless there's going to be some kind of delay with Mando 4 and Mando 3, that could very well shift the timeline to 2027, but so far so good. Now, I think that 6 episodes, to be honest with you all, is a perfect number to end it at. I think that at the end of the day, it really is all a matter of, can they really stretch the story that far? Well, it all depends on what kind of conflicts can they create, what kind of revelations can they create with Grogu. And Mandalorian as a whole, alright, Jon Favreau even told us this about a month ago or so, that Grogu is going to have this big secret unveiled when they make The Mandalorian Season 4. That's going to shift our focus and shift our view of the Skywalker saga in general. And a lot of it is going to have to do with Revenge of the Sith. Jon specifically said that everything is going above our heads. We don't really know what's going on. It's going to be one of the biggest revelations in Star Wars history. And he kind of goes on to tease that as well. Let's get to that. So he goes on to say, of course, many of which will be from Legends or consist of legacy characters, and myself and Dave have some pretty large ideas that we think fans are going to go wild over once we start announcing all of this stuff next year. I am just so eager to let everyone know what we are about to do for the fans and this large community. It's all about what happens to Grogu and where does he go once the series ends. We have that all planned out already, also, and it's really going to be one of the biggest twists and turns in the history of Star Wars for the fandom to see in the not-so-distant future, and I'm not over-exaggerating that. So, Jon Favreau making it very clear that he's not over-exaggerating, that this is going to be the biggest twist and turn in Star Wars history. The biggest question for me is, can it really be all that bigger than the I am your father moment? Well, we talked about this too. Favreau responded to that he does plan on making it bigger than the I am your father moment. It's all about the true identity of Grogu, who he is, where he really comes from, and who he is specifically. Jon pointed out that that is a part of the big revelation, and that nobody has guessed it as of yet, based on what he has been looking at on social media with fans. The fact that a lot of fans have not guessed anything near as close to what they are currently planning makes me wonder what in the world are they doing with Grogu, right? So overall, everything planning out between Jon and Dave of really trying to set things out to 6 seasons to end The Mandalorian before it's going to be like a passing of the torch type of scenario with other characters, and how those characters will consist, like he said, of legends and legacy characters. This is very interesting because you can see what they're trying to do already with The Mandalorian Season 2 and 3. Basically, Mando Season 2 was exactly what Jon just said here about what he's going to do with Mando 3 and 4, is that it was a season that really spawned a series of spin-offs. Season 2 showed us Boba Fett in a couple of episodes, it showed us Ahsoka, it showed us Bo-Katan, and what do you have it? We have a Boba Fett series, we have an Ahsoka series on the horizon, the Bo-Katan series will be announced at Celebration next year, and there's even a Luke Skywalker anthology show in the works that's currently dubbed as Jedi Knight, as we talked about that. So basically every character in The Mandalorian is getting their own show, and new characters will also be introduced in the remaining seasons of Mando that will also be getting their own shows. So there you have it. I mean, that's basically Jon Favreau's endgame, using The Mandalorian as a foundation to create spin-offs that lead to a new foundation eventually that spawn more spin-offs. And that's how he wants to actually introduce Legends characters and legacy characters. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.